Jill here, Special Needs Mom Talks. All right, today I'm going to talk about something uh, a little tricky. So I go up every week and I see my daughter who's in a group home, and it's challenging, I will say. And I thought about it this morning, why it's so challenging. I think about it frequently because I think a lot of it is based on, well, of course, multiple variables, but my experience of it coming from kind of more of a privileged background, never having in my wildest dreams the understanding of the beautiful lessons I'd be learning through this path of a special needs mom and having a daughter who would be in a group home and, you know, coming to terms with that from the programming that I had that says that that's a lesser path, that's, that's not good. You're not going to, that's a lower path. You're not accomplishing as much as someone who's, you know, changing the world at whatever levels they are changing the world. And so there's this whole mentality around it that has blocked out first of all, the fact that that's the path that, that she chose it, though there's so many variables that impacted that. That's a really tricky one with the population that has multiple disabilities on cognitive, physical, who knows where it all started. So it's hard to, you know, really put it on her, even though from a multidimensional level, I believe we choose our paths for, our soul's evolution and the learning experiences that we gain through these challenges, basically the emotions. So the emotions of going up to see my daughter in a group home can be intense. She's intense. I'm an intense human being. So we come together and, it's energetically, it's a lot. So finding something to do and, just making it a safe space for both of us. So we have our little routine and I think nutritionally we could probably do a little better, but, we're works in progress. So we go to this coffee shop, we get donuts or Taco Bell, and it's really, we make it as like, I don't know, I want to say indulgent, but just and then we sit and she gets to use my computer for a little while, and I don't know. So I make it as fun as possible. And sometimes she'll come out and for the holidays or whatever. And yeah, it's just, she's had a perception too that her life should be different, I think. And so accepting that this path is rich and rewarding, even though there's so much oppression that I see systemically that I've talked about ad nauseum, there's got to be a level of acceptance, I think, on the level of the individual and the parent. It doesn't have to be acceptance without acknowledging the deficits in the systems and the way that that's impacted your offspring and you. And because again, we've choose this path and we want to get as much out of it as possible. So if we're on this so-called, lesser path or more challenging in some like really twisted, convoluted, frustrating way, then we might as well be the detectives and figure out, if we can, as much meaning and understanding of it as possible in order to be the best advocate for our offspring and to also be able to handle it emotionally. So I don't know. That's kind of a long explanation, but yeah, sometimes I cry. It's hard, and it's a hard condition to manage too for her, for the individual, for her and for her staff, because there's medical and psychological challenges, and staying on top of it all is a lot. So it's like, it's a really interesting, challenging, frustrating, harrowing, gut-wrenching, beautiful path that she's on, and I love her so much, and we never live with regrets. So also helping her as she thinks it's shit. So that's it. That's what I got today. It's not all happy and cheery, and I don't need advice, but I love you all. And I always want to hear your feedback. And if you do know something that I don't know about, that's fine. Put it in there. I think what I'm trying to say is I don't want pity or help, just love.